Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, welcome everyone to our ongoing study of Kapila Shiksha, and tonight we're looking at chapter 33, which is the final chapter of this third canto. And describes, tonight we'll hear about the activities of Devahuti, but this is the conclusion of the teachings of Lord Kapila. Okay. So the chapter begins. We heard in chapter 32 the conclusion of Lord Kapila's teachings. So the chapter 33 begins with Devahuti's prayers, offering prayers to Lord Kapila, and Lord Kapila gives his final instructions to his mother, Devahuti, and then Lord Kapila leaves. And then we hear about Devahuti's perfection. And that goes up to text 32, and then 33 to 35 we'll hear about the activities of Lord Kapila. And then final two verses, the Phala Shruti. Okay, so first verse. Sri Maitreya said, "Thus Devahuti, the mother of Lord Kapila and wife of Kardama Muni, became freed from all ignorance concerning devotional service and transcendental knowledge. She offered her obeisances unto the Lord, the author of the basic principles of the Sankhya system of philosophy, which is a background of liberation, and she satisfied him with the following verses of prayer." So her prayers, of course, are very significant. Would someone like to read for me, please?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Rajeshwari Mataji, to be starting. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Rajeshwari Mataji. Dhanini Prabhuji.
Question, Prabhu. Venkateshwar Prabhu, please call the next person.
Dhanini Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Bhaji, Dhanapranam. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisance, sir. Devahuti said, Brahma is said to be unborn because he takes birth from the lotus flower which grows from your abdomen while you lie in the ocean at the bottom of the universe. But even Brahma simply meditated upon you. Whole body is the source of unlimited universes. My dear Lord, although personally you have nothing to do, you have distributed your energies in the interactions of the modes of nature, and for that reason, the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation take place. My dear Lord, you are self-determined and the Supreme Personality of Godhead for all living entities. For them, you created this material manifestation, and although you are one, your diverse energies can act multifariously. This is inconceivable to us. 2, 3.
Okay. So Devahuti is offering prayers to her mother, to her son rather. So the mother is glorifying the son. Of course, Devahuti had already been told that her son would be the incarnation of the Lord, so she knew the identity of her. She was, all right. Someone else can read text number 4.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, kindly accept my humble obeisances. The inconceivable Lord, my abdomen. Oh my Lord, how is that possible for the Supreme One who has in his belly all the cosmic manifestation? The answer is that it is possible for at the and just like a small baby, you lick the toe of your lotus foot. Hare Krishna.
All right, so you can see in the diagram, the baby is laying on the banyan leaf and he's licking his toe. So it's very interesting to see this pastime. So Devahuti is saying that you took your birth from my abdomen. The wonder, how is it possible you could be the source of everything? But then she remembers that in his belly, all the cosmic manifestation is there. And at the end of the millennium, you lay down on the leaf and suck your toe. And so the Lord himself is curious about his lotus feet, because so many people worship his lotus feet. They get so much nectar from taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So Lord Krishna himself wants to taste that nectar. There you can see. Wonderful Leela here. Okay, this is a nice verse here from Bilva Mangal Thakur from the Bala Makundastikam. Would someone like to read for us?
Pranam Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
Yes.
Karara vindena padara vindam mukhara vinde vinivesayantam vatasya patrasya pute sayanam balam mukundam manasa smarami.
Oh, very nice. Very beautiful.
Thank you, Maharaj. With his lotus hand, he places his lotus foot in his lotus mouth. I meditate on that baby Mukunda lying on the leaf of a banyan tree. Bal Mukunda Shtakam, Bilo Mangala Thakura.
So you see the Lord there on the banyan, on the leaf of a banyan tree. Okay. There's another one, the same pastime, similar. Would you like to read again, Maraji?
Yes, Maharaj. My dear Lord, you have assumed this body in order to diminish the sinful activities of the fallen and enrich their knowledge in devotion and liberation. Since these sinful people are dependent on your direction by your own will, you assume incarnation as a boar and as the other forms. Similarly, you have appeared in order to distribute transcendental knowledge to your dependents.
So the Lord comes in so many different forms mentioned here, how he also came as Lord Varaha. Okay, and then here's this very, very wonderful verse, verse number 6 in the chapters, one of your memorization verses. I think you all must know it by now. Yeah, Maraji, you can also read this one. You recite so nicely. I'm sure you can do this one.
Yanna medeya sarvan anukirtanand yat pravanad yat smarnad api kvachita swado api sadhya swanaya kalpate kuta punaste bhagavan mudarsanat. To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of person who see the Supreme Person face to face, even a person born in a family of dog-eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifice if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him.
Yes, this is the power of devotional service, right? In the beginning of the Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami describes the character, describes that devotional service destroys all the past sinful activities. Even our prarabdha karma can be destroyed by devotional service. It's a karma which is already manifest. It's mentioned here in this verse that he's born in a sadhya. So he's born in a family of dog eaters. So that's an indication of prarabdha karma. Even though he has such a heavy karma, that if he once utters the holy name, or chants about him, offers obeisances, or even remembers him, even these things, he does these things, it said even once, then he becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. So how is it possible? It's possible by the power of devotional service. Of course, there's qualities in uttering the holy name, but the point is that devotional service has that power. If we do proper, pure devotional service, it can destroy even prarabdha karma. And this is the verse to support that. So this is why we often quote this verse. It's an important verse to remember. Is it clear? Anybody has any questions so far?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes?
Dandat Pranam Maharaj.
Yes.
Maharaj, here Maharaj mentioned that even if a person chants one time, he becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices.
Yes.
But in ISKCON Maharaj, we have a minimum requirement to have Brahminical to do the Pujari Seva in the temple. How does that go with this statement, Maharaj?
Well, it's a very different thing, right? To perform Vedic sacrifices. What particular Vedic sacrifice we're talking about? And we say, well, we do see within our Krishna consciousness movement, we do see people who are born in families of dog eaters, and they may be performing Vedic yagyas, they're offering the deity worship and so on. So we do see it, that they're given the opportunity. It's not that they're given the opportunity immediately, but with the initiation, that is the sign that they've become purified. Because they're given the sacred thread, and so with the sacred thread, they're given the Brahminical status, and then they become eligible to perform the Vedic sacrifice. And so it's not a contradiction.
Thank you, Maharaj.
We do see devotees from...
There is a hand raised.
Okay, we do see devotees from countries like China and also Korea and Japan and so on, like the Philippines, parts like that, where people are it's common for people to eat dogs. But they become very nice devotees by chanting the holy name and by engaging in devotional service. So we're showing the application of this verse. Yes, another hand is there. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Maharaj, we say that even prarabdha karma, which means has been, because of that we have gone, they also can be vanished. And what about Sanchit karma, Maharaj? Sanchit karma, which we have baggage on the back, which is not unmanifested, how they also will go off?
I can't understand what you're saying, Prabhu. I'm sorry. What if one has what? If one has what?
Maharaj, as you told, the dog eaters means the prarabdha karma.
Yes.
Prarabdha also can be taken off by this one, so devotional service. Similarly, we know that we have sanchit karma, unmanifested sanchit karma, unmanifested karma. So they also will go off, or they will stay with us?
Panchit karma.
We have prarabdha and aprarabdha karma. Aprarabdha we can say, Maharaj.
Okay, aprarabdha karma, yes. Of course, if the prarabdha karma goes off, then the aprarabdha karma will also be nullified, yes. The prarabdha karma is more difficult to remove than the aparabdha.
They also will not.
Yes, all the karma. All the karma can be
And
removed.
the propensity of and Maharaj, there will be propensity of the doing sinful activities. Usually that pull us back to the material world and again. So that how can we remove that one also?
Yeah, that the propensity to
Propensity of doing
sinful activities, yes. The sinful desire seeds are removed. The sinful desire seeds are removed by proper knowledge, by devotional service. The sinful desire seeds are there due to ignorance. Ignorance is the root cause of sinful activities. So the more we become situated in devotional service, we'll have proper knowledge and we will remove even the desire for sins. It is only the process of devotional service which can remove the desire for sin. Any other process of atonement, like performing sacrifices or charity or penances and so on, that will never remove the desire for sin. But if you perform pure devotional service, now I'm not talking about mixed devotional service, it must be pure devotional service. Then pure devotional service will remove the desire for sinful activities. Is it clear?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead. Then the next verse, these two verses, very, very powerful, very important. Yes, who would like to read this one?
Kirtanisha Prabhuji.
Another memorization verse, I think you have to.
Aho batasva pacho ato gariyan yajjivagre varatade namatubhyam te pustapaste juhava sasnur arya brahmanuchar nama pranati yete. Oh, how glorious are they whose tongues are chanting your holy name, even if born in the families of dog eaters. Such persons are worshipable. Persons who chant the holy name of your Lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieved all the good manners of Aryans. To be chanting the holy name of your Lordship, they must have bathed at holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas and fulfilled everything required.
Yes. So another very important verse, powerful verse, describing the power of devotional service. That even one is born in the family of dog eaters, but because they're chanting the holy name, then in the past it's understood that they've already done everything. They've already performed all kinds of piety and been to all the holy places and studied all the scriptures. They did everything. And now they're chanting the holy name. So the birth is not really the indication. You have to see the activities of the person. So Haridas Thakur, Lord Chaitanya made him the Acharya in chanting the holy name. But by birth he was born in the cow eaters. Very, very important verses, very powerful, often quoted, and definitely we should know them and we should use them.
Manjari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I believe, my Lord, that you are Lord Vishnu himself, Godhead, the Supreme Brahman. The saints and sages, being freed from all the disturbances of the senses and mind, meditate upon you, see three modes of material nature. At the time of dissolution, all the Vedas are sustained in you only.
Okay. So.
Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kapila, satisfied by the words of his mother, towards whom he was very affectionate, replied with gravity, My dear mother, the path of self-realization, which I have already instructed to you, is very easy. You can execute this system without difficulty, and by following it, you shall very soon be liberated, even within your present body.
Right. We can be liberated even within the present body. We don't need to wait till we have to give up this body to become liberated. We can be liberated now. And Lord Kapila says also, this process is very easy, not difficult. Process is easy, but we just have to do it, right? Yes. All right. Someone read text number 11.
Mukunda Murari Prabhuji. Nandasutta Prabhuji.
My dear mother, those who are actually transcendently certainly follow the instruction as I have given them to you. You may rest assured that if you traverse this path of self-realization perfectly, surely you shall be freed from fearful material contamination and shall ultimately reach me. Mother, persons who are not conversant with this method of devotional service currently cannot get out of cycle of birth and death.
Okay. So Lord Kapila is replying to his mother. Have faith in the instructions, do what you're told, you'll get the result. But if you doubt, you have to have confidence in what's being taught. So now we're going to hear about Devahuti's devotional service. By his mother, he's appreciated her, he's given her instructions, and described here, text number 12, Maitreya said, personality of Godhead Kapila took permission from her and left his home, his mission having been fulfilled. So we may think, oh, it's not very good to go and leave your mother, but he's the Supreme Lord, remember. He's independent. And his mission had been fulfilled. What was his mission? He taught his mother the path of perfection, and he brought his mother to the perfectional stage. So he'd done everything required. Devahuti had come to the perfectional stage, and there was no more purpose in Lord Kapila staying at home. So he left. All right. Someone read text 13.
As Hare Krishna Maharaj, as instructed by his son, Devahuti also began to practice Bhakti Yoga in that very ashrama. She practiced Samadhi in the house of Kardama Muni, which was so beautifully decorated with flowers that it was considered the flower crown of the river Saraswati. She began to bathe 3 times daily, and thus her curling black hair gradually became grey. Due to austerity, her body gradually became thin and she wore old garments.
So this is the practice of spiritual life, taking bath, extremely powerful purification. And of course, for Devahuti, she's taking bath in the Saraswati. Her hair becoming grey, well, that's nothing uncommon. Her hair all becomes grey. She became thin and she wore old garments. Well, remember, go ahead, Prabhu, keep reading, text 15. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the home and household paraphernalia of Kardama, by dint of his mystic powers of austerity and yoga, that his opulence was sometimes envied by those who travelled in outer space in airplanes.
So Kadama was one of the 9 daughters, and then he had also Kapila. So he'd done his work, that was his work as Prajapati. And then he mission and aerial mansion for Devahuti to go travelling in, along with him. Yes?
The opulence of the household of Kardama Muni as the foam of milk. The chairs and benches were made of ivory and were covered by clothes of lace with golden filigree.
We can imagine the opulence. Even today, if you had a place like that, you know, it'd be so opulent. Oh my God, what happened? Wait. Yes, sir? Yes?
The pearls. There was no need of light. for the household was illuminated by the rays of these jewels. The female members of the household were all amply decorated with jewelry.
The electricity, everything was illuminated by the rays of the jewels. And in the palace, like at Hastinapur, there used to be many jewels there. Everything was being taken. Yes?
Compound of the main flowers and many trees which produced fresh fruit and were tall and beautiful. The attraction of such gardens was that singing birds would sit on the trees and their chanting voices, as well as the humming sound of the bees, made the whole atmosphere as pleasing as possible. When Devahuti would enter that lovely garden to take her bath in the pond filled with lotus flowers, the associates of the denizens of heaven, household life, her great husband Kardama gave her.
Yeah, should I call him inside? But come in and see while I'm talking, while I'm giving the class.
At the same time?
Yeah. Is it possible?
If you kind of stop for a few minutes.
What can I do? Yes, go ahead, Prabhu. Keep.
Although, in spite of all her processions, which might be even by the ladies of the heavenly planets, gave up all such comforts, she was only sorry that her great son was separated from her.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, can you just give me 5 minutes? I just have to speak to the doctor here. He come to see me.
Recording stopped.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. This is my foot here.
Can you sit here? It will be better.
A little, okay.
Yes.
You see here?
How is that?
I got bit by a bee, yesterday, and now it's all
Swelling is there.
We'll just wait 5 minutes
Put both the legs.
till Maharaj comes back.
Yeah, both the legs together. Now both the legs you have to just see both the legs. Yes. What was bitten? Do you know?
This toe, they got in my shoe,
No, but any insect bite was there?
That was insect, yeah.
You don't see the insect?
It was a bee or something.
It was a bee?
Yeah.
When it happened?
Yesterday.
Okay. Anything else other than this? Do you feel pain here? Do you feel pain?
Not much.
Not much. Anything else?
Feel
Any
it.
burning sensation? Anything?
Yeah. Burning
sensation. Any medication you take regularly?
No.
I'll just check your blood pressure a little bit, yes. What happened in the morning? Do you mean the same?
Yeah, it was irritating. I had a fever the day yesterday.
Insect bite? Blood pressure is a little on the higher side. You take any medication, Maharaj?
No.
What
High
about-
blood pressure.
Yes. When have you checked last time?
I don't know.
Okay, please don't take raw salt.
Don't take raw salt.
Salt. And
I've been gargling with raw salt.
how long?
Just a few days.
It should not be a few days, but I'm telling you, cut down raw salt, huh?
Okay.
And we'll do some tests later on, but now I'll give some medication for this. So, I would like to your servant, they will bring the medicine or how it is? Because I would like you to take some anti-inflammatory and maybe a short course antibiotic. It's fine for you?
Yeah.
You have any drug allergy, anything?
No.
Okay. So I'll speak to your servant and I'll send the if today you can start, it's fine, otherwise we'll start from tomorrow.
Okay.
There will be one ointment to apply and some medication, 2 to 3 pills to take. Now, blood pressure. Tomorrow I'll try to arrange a test for you, means I have to send someone. I'd like to see your lipid profile, that is the cholesterol, and your kidney function. So that I will arrange tomorrow. I'll speak to the person, I think I have his number. This is the person. I'll speak to him. Anything I will coordinate with him, but today some medication need to be started. You have your dinner, means you take something at night?
No.
You don't take. What time you took last time, meal?
2.
2 o'clock. Then you don't eat. In general you don't eat?
No.
Premanjan Das? Yeah?
No.
He can't communicate with me. Or who?
Actually, his son, Damodar Group.
Whom I need to communicate? You have his number?
Yeah. I think this Damodar Group is number 96740.
9674
0
yes
908909.
9080. Yeah? 96740 9080. Okay, Maharaj. Thank you. Okay? I'll arrange, huh? Whatever is required. Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna.